What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Worst Company to Have. As always, I'm your host, Kyle, and this is
Alex.
What's going on, guys? And Alex, what's
Yeah.
going on with you?
I almost crashed on the way here.
That's not good.
I was falling asleep.
That's also not good.
I've been up too early. Or late, yeah.
Too late, too early. It's all the same.
Mm.
Well, I'm glad you made it.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get right into it.
Sure.
All right, quick bits.
Quick bits.
A segment that is not becoming popular at all.
Not at all. Matthew Vaughn, he's the director of both Kingsman movies.
Mm.
He's stated that he'd rather work for DC right now than Marvel.
Interesting.
Which, it is interesting because I feel like his style is a bit more complementary to what Marvel's doing. But, I mean, Vince Vaughn could be a director to, like, make a pretty badass movie.
Right.
Especially with, I could see him doing something with Flash, if Flash doesn't already have a director, which I don't think he does yet.
I don't think so either.
So, it'd be real interesting to see what he does with that. Because, I mean, with the character like the Flash, Vince Vaughn he'll be able to do something great with it.
Right. And you know what? I feel like a director like that, they could definitely save the DC films.
Probably, yeah. They just got to start working with these directors a bit more.
I think what they need to focus on more. They need to focus more on what they have, instead of trying to focus on what they want to be or what they're trying to do. You know, like obviously they're trying to play catch up with Marvel.
Yeah.
But they haven't had as many movies to catch up with everything. Like Marvel started back in 2007.
Yeah.
You know, with the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
And the DC films just said barely with what, Man of Steel. Didn't that come out 2009, 10?
No, later than that.
Later? Well, see, there you go. So they need to focus more on the properties and the stuff they have now, which it can work.
Yeah.
They can't, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, amongst
this is going great, by the way, so far. I'm loving it.
amongst the all the cameos and stuff that Last Jedi had, Edgar Wright actually has a cameo in The Last Jedi. I didn't notice him at all, but apparently he's just a rebel. He's in there somewhere.
Edgar Wright, really?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Because I know, and we'll get to it later when we review the movie, but
because Tom Hardy was supposed to be in it, but I guess his scenes got deleted. I think, or he's a stormtrooper. If he is in there, who the hell knows?
That's what I was hearing too.
The princess,
the two princes. Yeah.
They're supposedly in it, but they actually got cut. And just a bunch of other people that are just in there. Ryan Johnson actually makes a small cameo. He's
so does Gareth Edwards, the director from Rogue One. Yeah.
So I mean, there's
a lot of cameos in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's 2 hours and 2.5 hours long.
So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we heard that like more people were cameoed in there.
Yeah.
So
Chris Pine was a stormtrooper somewhere.
Yeah. Aside from that, Ryan Johnson, he's loving the response that it's getting.
Yeah.
You know.
There was an article that I did not read, just kind of passed through it, and it said, "Has Ryan Johnson made the best Star Wars movie ever?" And according to everything that everyone's been posting on Facebook and stuff, they are loving this movie.
We'll get into it because I like it. It's just I don't think it's the best one, but we'll get into it.
Right.
Gambit is still happening.
Yes.
It just got a production budget. It's reported that it's going to be $150 million, which it's not a lot. $150 million for a movie is not a lot.
Oh, then let me just shorten that to
yeah. So I mean, but also this is coming off after the Disney Fox merger,
right?
So I don't know if Disney's like, we'll go ahead and do this because it's already you know, in their early stages of production. But
Mm-hmm.
but then again, I don't know what they're planning. They should just cancel it, to be honest, because no one seems to be excited for it.
That's true.
Channing Tatum, I don't know if he's still attached or not.
This must be a passion project for him because he's just.
But he hasn't said anything about it. He hasn't done anything about it. So, in other news, they're doing Gotham by Gaslight. It's an animated series, and I guess they're gonna include Jack the Ripper.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be pretty cool. There's some promo art for Black Panther that looks pretty cool. Next, Alicia Vikander performs her own stunts in the new Tomb Raider movie.
You know, I saw the trailer for that, which I wasn't expecting you to get a trailer for. What was it for? When I went to go see The Last Jedi. I don't like it. I didn't like the trailer. It was very choppy. Like, I know that they showcased a lot of like the action stuff, but there were times where I couldn't tell what was going on.
Well, see, I like the trailer, and according to my brother, it's beat for beat for what the video game was.
Right, but that's not necessarily a good thing.
But the game's so good, according to him. I haven't played it.
Again, that's not necessarily a good thing because
I'm such a misogynistic. I just stayed to Uncharted. No, I never played Tomb Raider, not because I was disinterested. Just I didn't have the console.
Yeah, no, I had the consoles. I just never played Tomb Raider. Those games just never really interested me, and I'm pretty sure I just lost a bunch of our subscribers just now. Yeah, no, I've never got into Lara Croft or the Tomb Raider series, and
from what I can remember, because I had one for the PlayStation 2, and it was fine. I was too young to know what to do, so I would always dive into caves and shoot rats. Real Luke Skywalker for me. But yeah, I don't remember playing it much. But when the new series was released, I was excited and I wanted to play it, but never got around to it.
Right.
Because Uncharted 4 came out, and I was like, "This is a boys' game." No.
This is a man's game.
I retract that. Anyways, moving on. That's cool that she's doing her own stunts. I like when actors
that is
actually
cool.
do that.
I'd probably watch it just to see what it's about. Maybe not, because that's exactly what I said about the Warcraft movie, and I never saw that.
I bought it on Blu-ray. I watched it. It's fine. It's not groundbreaking or anything, but it's better than Assassin's Creed.
Right.
But yeah, I think I have a slight hope for this. Just because it's beat for beat for what the video game is, and the story for that's pretty pretty great. And for someone who hasn't played the game, you know, I'm curious to see how well it transfers over.
Okay.
Because the problem with video game movies is that they try to put their own spin on it. I'm like, no, just fucking follow the story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I've always thought too.
Michelle Williams is definitely playing Anne Wayne in Venom. Anne Wayne is She-Venom. So it looks like they're just going to bring the whole fucking Venom family into this, which I'm getting less and less excited for this one. I'm not even excited for it. I'm not looking forward to it.
I know you guys can't see my face right now, but I just had literally a myriad of expressions in the entire time that he said all those things.
It was confused. It was asking who Michelle Williams is and Anne Wayne is. And then even more confusion and anger for She-Venom.
Just a myriad of different expressions. Okay. I didn't know there was a She-Venom.
Yeah, there's a ton of Venoms. So Venom...
I know he has his own family, I guess.
Yeah, because the symbiote is able to self-reproduce, so it splits itself off. That's how Carnage is made. Then Carnage has children, and it goes.
Yeah, what's one of them? Like Siren,
Scream.
Doppelganger. Oh, Scream. That's right. Yeah, because I remember I used to have this. Actually, I still have it somewhere. I had this game for the Sega Genesis. It was the sequel to Maximum Carnage. It's Spider-Man and Venom Separation Anxiety.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest games I've ever played, but it's so much fun. you basically fight as either Spider-Man or Venom, and you go through the game fighting his children.
Yeah.
And at the end, you fight Carnage himself. Which it's a really fun game. And that's actually, I learned that there were other symbiotes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton. There's one that's kind of an anti-hero. He, like, he allows the suit to, like, he makes a deal with the suit, and he's like, oh, like, we're not going to kill anyone, but at night, like, when I'm asleep, you can take over and kill only 2 people.
What the hell?
And so, like, it's like a weird thing, because the symbiote turns, because it's from Carnage's lineage, so it's like bloodthirsty, and
of course
ends up controlling and helps Spider-Man. But so there's a shit ton of symbiotes. There's so many.
Well, I guess we'll be getting some of that in the Venom movie.
I'm gonna watch it because I'm such a fanboy, but I'm not.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Venom. It's like that's.
I'm not. He's don't get me wrong. He's a great character, but there's more interesting factors in it because there's. It's just moving on.
Oh my god, your frustration and like disappointment with
because Venom is such a fan service. Like when he was first created and he was first revealed, that whole arc was great because Spider-Man was being stalked and he had a feeling of it, but his spider sense couldn't detect it.
Right, because Venom is invisible to it.
Yeah, and the entire he becomes this ruthless character that Spider-Man can't, he can't overpower, he can't overcome, so he has to learn how to outsmart him and stuff like that, and then you have Carnage and stuff like that. But what I'm upset about is that this movie's gonna make him out to be like, oh, he gets the suit. Like, I guarantee you it's gonna be he gets the suit, he does a couple of bad things to advance his life, whatever. It sheds off and Carnage is available, and then he feels responsible for it, so then he goes off and tries to defeat Venom.
Yeah.
Fight happens, maybe 1 or 2 fights happen, Carnage bests him, maybe, and then at the end he ends up winning because, oh, he learns fire can defeat the symbiote or whatever. Okay. And then he's seen as an anti-hero, and then maybe we get, like, a cliffhanger of, like, She-Venom and the other children and shit like that, and I don't want it.
Okay. Now, bear with me on this. What if you're wrong?
Then happily, I will walk out of there happy. But it's just I don't see them being any more original with it because you need Spider-Man in order for Venom to
be Venom.
Yeah, to be born at the very. Yeah. And so it's just I don't know. Like, how are you gonna explain that all of a sudden he's got like arachnic abilities? And there's no Spider-Man in this world. It's too much.
I can see the Detective Pikachu coming out of you right now. Like, you're so mad about the Detective Pikachu movie, and now you're so frustrated about this Venom movie.
A little bit of background news: Haley Steinfeld. She says she would like to play Batgirl in the DC films. She was in The Age of 17, which is it's just a great coming of age movie.
Never seen it. Let me see if I can pull up a picture.
I say sure, whatever. Like, she's not cast yet. Like, she's a good enough actress, but like at this point, anyone can say they want to play something, but it doesn't really matter.
True. Like Tyrese Gibson, petitioning for
yeah, he can
Green Lantern.
He can do that all he wants. The studio's not gonna give it to him.
Earn that paycheck, Tyrese.
Oh God. Did you see his whole like scandal thing where he was like he was going after The Rock and just going after people like, no. if the studio doesn't fire The Rock from the Fast and Furious movie, he goes, Roman won't be like, who cares? He's like, Roman won't come back. I'm like, who cares if you leave? Roman doesn't belong to you. They will recast. The studio will recast if they want to continue this without you. Like, it doesn't thread all that you want. Like, they're not. I don't care what you think they did with Paul Walker. Like it was a tragedy, and we lost his character. You know, so just shut up. Just shut up.
Fair enough. Well, you are angry this episode, aren't you?
I need a nap. I need a nap as well. I'm just cranky.
Work's starting to get to you, isn't it?
No, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. But that's it for quick bits.
Okay.
That's
well,
it for quick
you
bits.
did mention the was it the Disney Fox merger? Okay,
Yeah.
so you seem to know more about it than I do.
So as of right now, I try to look up a little more information on it, and a lot of it is contradicting itself. Like Hollywood Reporter doesn't seem to have the full rights, because everyone is claiming that Disney bought Fox.
Yes, that's what I've been seeing a lot of.
When in reality, I don't think that's the case. They bought a lot of their assets, which are the obvious ones. You know, X-Men. From my understanding is that they bought the distribution rights to Fantastic Four because a German company called it escapes me. It's some cliche name.
So, right.
But it's a German company that owns the physical rights to the cinematic, and Fox was this entire time was just acting as a distributor.
Right.
The same way as Disney is with Spider-Man. Right. So I don't know if they actually pulled out their giant checkbook and were like, just give us the rights, or they bought distributions, which distribution seems to be the more likely. Mm-hmm. And then along with that, they bought, you know, Gambit and Deadpool. Bob Iger actually said, Bob Iger, who's the owner or the CEO of Disney, said we're gonna leave Deadpool alone. He actually confirmed that, and he's like we're not gonna touch it.
Which makes sense because, but I feel like what they're gonna do is they're going to maybe switch up the distribution for like Deadpool, because it's like obviously they know that Deadpool's gonna make money. Yeah. So they're probably just gonna like.
Well, I don't even think they're gonna do distribution. I think it'll still be under the Disney name. They're just not gonna.
They're just not gonna touch it.
Yeah, they're just not gonna.
Right.
Because it works. So I think they're gonna let Ryan Reynolds keep doing what he's doing with it.
So Deadpool's still gonna be separate from the Marvel movies?
Maybe. I don't know yet. Because well, X-Men still has, I think, 1 or 2 movies slated. I don't know if they were doing a trilogy with Dark Phoenix.
That's right. I did hear about the Dark Phoenix trilogy.
I don't know if they're doing a trilogy yet, because even Fox didn't confirm it though. But there was rumors of that. But I know there's 2 more movies coming out for X-Men, and I think that's when that's when Disney will like cut it off and then start new and recast completely. Right. But yeah, so they're definitely leaving Deadpool rated R and leaving it alone.
Well, that's good, because it definitely works as like, you know, rated R and stuff like that. Yeah. Interesting, because if they do end up, like, say they end up merging X-Men with like Marvel Studios and everything, you know, just because now that Disney owns stuff like that now. Deadpool is still, I was about to say Dead Man.
How great would it be to see Dead Man
in a movie?
I just want the Dark Justice League.
We are getting Justice League Dark. We're getting a live action Justice League Dark movie.
Well, for the longest time, the rumor was that Guillermo del Toro was going to direct it.
Yes, which I don't think is the case anymore.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case either. But he would be perfect for it. The only thing I'm asking for is either, what's his name? The guy who's been playing Constantine.
The British dude?
Yeah, Ryan something.
Something.
I forget his name, and I'm angry that that I forgot it, because I love him as Constantine, and I would like for him to come to the cinematic, but because he's television, they probably won't.
Probably not. No.
But my second choice would be Colin Farrell.
Ooh, that actually would work.
Yeah, Colin Farrell.
I think that would work quite well, actually. Yeah.
Because he was listed for that, or he was on the short list for it, and he's my top pick. Ron Perlman was gonna be Swamp Thing.
Yes, I did hear about that, which I think is amazing.
I hope it carries over.
Mhm.
Everyone else, they can either keep that short list of actors that they had in mind or just recast.
No, I would love.
But I would very much want Colin Farrell.
Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Justice League Dark, but that would be a really cool, interesting movie to see. That's, how would I say it? It's just different enough from the Marvel movies that this could be like, oh well, at least Justice League or at least DC's done this, you know, just like you know with Wonder Woman, for example, and you know I'm holding the DVD right here.
You're not on camera. You don't have to get it away from my face.
Well, like, yeah, because DC was the first people to have a female-led superhero movie. Marvel hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, that's true.
And you don't want to say Captain Marvel, but you know that's a little too late. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't understand why they didn't do a Black Widow movie. I think they've even said that there's just no plans for it.
Right.
But they should have. That should have been. I would have even been okay with like her bundled up with Hawkeye, and
that'd be cool.
And doing like their origin. You can spend maybe do like an hour and a half movie long, spend 20 minutes on both origins, and then have them meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Something like that.
What were we talking about before this?
The merger.
The merger, yes.
So, along with all the Marvel properties, Disney's also buying James Cameron's Avatar, which at this I'm just like, who gives a shit? I didn't care for the first.
I'm pretty sure someone out there does.
A lot of people enjoy it, and that's fine if they do.
I've never seen it.
I don't like it. It's just I don't know what it is. It's boring to me. It's boring to me. I don't know if it's because of the length. Like it's almost like 3 hours long.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The fact that he's making like, I think he's making a trilogy.
Yeah.
I'm hearing things of him being like 5. Like no. I know.
And just like the total span of all 5 movies is just like 2 years long.
Yeah, like no, I don't want it. But so I don't know if they've legitimately bought Fox. They just said fuck it, like we'll just buy the company together. But I think it's just those assets. I don't think because the rumor was that Fox wanted to become more news oriented.
Yeah, which makes sense because I mean, look at what Fox is doing to their movies.
Yeah,
like has Fox even come out with a movie that wasn't Deadpool or X-Men or Fantastic Four?
I want to say I don't think Kingsman was Fox. I think Kingsman is Lionsgate.
I think it is Lionsgate.
I could be wrong. I don't know,
but my point exactly. Like, have they done a movie since?
Yeah. So something that wasn't superhero and something.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
So I guess there it is. My point exactly. So
you know what? For fun, let me just look it up real quick. But yeah, I mean, as far as that merger goes, it only turns into good things because I mean we'll have Fantastic Four in the MCU now, and
same thing with X-Men.
So that's pretty good.
That's gonna be cool. So do you think they'll try to tie it into where, say, after Infinity War, something happened, a portal opened, and all of a sudden
they're gonna have to.
Yeah, because how else would they introduce them?
Well, also what I'm a little confused about is because Captain Marvel is gonna take place in the 90s. So where in God knows where is she in Infinity War?
Well, maybe we'll see. Maybe they'll be like, oh, well, there's this person. She might be. Who knows? Maybe at the end of Captain Marvel, she went out. You think maybe space or something?
You think maybe she'll take Adam Warlock's role, kind of? Because I doubt that they'll kill Thanos, but maybe she's the one powerhouse that sets him back.
Maybe.
Because I haven't even really thought about her being in Infinity War because my logic was it would be kind of weird to just kind of bring her in.
Right.
But if they do it like how they did with Black Panther in Civil War, then it can be justifiable.
Right. It could work. Huh. Yeah, because, like I was saying, like at the end of Captain Marvel, maybe like she flies off into space or something, you know?
Because, I mean, that would make sense. And then so you can have her meet up with Thor and the Guardians and have that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
So Fox will be releasing The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman. It's that musical,
right? Of I think was it Barnum and Bailey?
Yeah,
yeah, the circus.
And then Ferdinand, that bull.
Oh yeah, that used to be a Sunday comic strip, huh?
Maybe, I don't know.
I want to say it used to be a Sunday comic strip.
I tend to avoid anything that has like this much of a family friendly orientation. And then Streep Hawk. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. The Post.
Okay.
The Post with Tom Hanks. So those are their latest movies. The Greatest Showman, I think, will actually be pretty good. I am interested in seeing it.
I am, yes. That does look pretty good.
And then Tom Hanks, he's been like real hit and miss lately. More misses. He had The Circle with Emma Watson and John Boyega.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
It's a slow burn, man.
Ferdinand's based off a child's book, so not a Sunday comic strip.
Interesting. And then he also did something other one where he was in, I think, Baghdad or something. Like, I don't know.
Tom Hanks in a war movie.
It wasn't. No, it was not. It was just in the city. Like, he was a businessman or something.
Tom Hanks in the city of Baghdad.
It was something I could be misremembering. I don't know.
Castaway 2.
Oh God, no! I don't want Castaway. Oh God, yeah, he fucked that volleyball. You know it. Wilson has been violated, and you know it.
Oh my God, that's it. We've gone there. We've gone to a dark place.
Moving on.
So yeah, Disney Fox merger. Definitely something I'm excited for. Definitely gonna be cool to see the X-Men in the MCU.
It'll be a while. I mean, we'll probably be in our 30s by the time that happens.
That's fine with me.
Me too.
I mean, I'm about to be 30 in 4 years.
Oof. Oof.
It's funny, you say we'll be in our 30s as if it was like still 20 years from now, but I'm 4 years away from being 30.
Oof.
Yeah. You?
I'm still young and vibrant. Old man. I got this.
Aren't you 22?
24.
24. So you're 6 years away.
Yeah. I told my brother I want a cake of that SpongeBob scene where they're laughing and it says, you know what's better than 24? If I don't get that for my birthday,
my God.
If I don't get that for my birthday, I'm gonna be really upset.
Oh, dude, I will make that for you. I will do that. That would be amazing.
Like, I don't even like cake. I don't. Like, cake is not my first choice. I have donuts every year for my birthday, but I will eat that cake.
Oh, that is actually pretty damn good. That's clever.
But yeah. So moving on from that.
All right. So yeah, Disney Fox merger, great. I think it's good. And now to the nitty gritty of it. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. We are not segueing really well into any of these topics.
Not at all.
Star
Wars, nothing but stuff.
Is that the new theme?
No, it's not. I stole that. I stole that from another critic.
Yeah, we are not segueing into any of these really. I don't know. Maybe we're both tired.
I'm exhausted, but I'm here.
Yes. But all right. Yes. So Star Wars: Last Jedi.
Your
Holy cow.
To start it off, just your overall thought.
Holy cow. That was, first of all, that movie was long as shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. It felt, cause see, I was kind of worried about it being like a clone of like Empire, especially with like the Walker scene that they always show in the trailers and stuff like that. But at the same time, like the movie, like watching the movie, and it's like, oh my God, what is this? Holy crap. It was like there was a level of suspense throughout the entire movie. It's like, on the whole, like, will they escape? Won't they escape? And I know I'm jumping into a lot of jumping all over the place, But these were like my initial thoughts. The movie was great.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see it again a second time.
Yeah.
Just so I can try to catch everything.
I would too, because there was a lot of things that I missed. I went back and watched a few reviews just to see if anyone had similar opinions,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like mentioning a few things, like the end with the kid who like force grabs that broom. I didn't notice it.
I didn't notice that either because I was like, I saw that and I was like,
I didn't notice it until my brother. Yeah, my brother pointed it out, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I actually thought he just grabbed the broom.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but I think it had to do just more with like the contrast of the scene, because it was a pretty dark scene because he's like in a garage or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
And so I didn't take too notice into it, but everyone like that was reviewing it, they're like, yeah, like he force grabs it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was on another video that I was watching. They did confirm it to be a force sensitive kid.
Yeah.
So and it makes sense. So well, going into the end of the movie, but
yeah,
we'll get that. We're gonna try to structure this review from start, middle to end, so that we can have at least a coherent way of doing this. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts. What were your initial thoughts?
Overall, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. There was a few parts that didn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
They felt unnecessary. Mainly that the scenes with Finn and Rose at what's that planet called? That rich people planet.
Canto Bight.
Yeah. Canto Bight. Like they didn't really need that.
That scene felt like a big prequel movie moment. But again, we'll get into that.
So other than that, I mean, I like that they focused on Poe a little bit more.
Yes. Yeah, I did like that too.
Yeah, because Poe was actually one of my favorite things from Force Awakens. I like that they focused on him a little bit more in this. Just Mark Hamill, just his performance. I was like I went in there thinking, I was like, he hasn't really done much acting in a while. The most he's done is like Joker,
voice actors.
Joker and voice acting, and I was surprised that. No, not even surprised. I was just glad to see that he was still able to do it.
Oh yeah, like he felt like old Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Old crotchety Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. And then Rey and Kylo's dynamic.
I like that.
Yeah, I like how it's growing, and I like that they've already established like she had one initial thought going in, and after this she's just like there's no way of like redeeming Kylo now.
Right.
So so definitely there's definitely a lot more that worked for me than what didn't. So like definitely the good outweighs the bad very heavily, but initially, like if I had to rate it, I don't know, maybe like an 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna give this a 9. It was amazing, and I think it's because it was so different than like the usual Star Wars movies that we've seen so far. Even like Rogue One seemed like it followed that Star Wars formula. If Star Wars even has a formula, it was something so new and yet so familiar at the same time. Like they introduced so much new stuff, and there was things that I was like, oh my god, I didn't even think that was possible. But it's like, well, they're pretty much rewriting the entire stories for Star Wars, so it's like everything's kind of new, and I like it.
I do too. I like it a lot, and I can see why Disney has entrusted Rian Johnson to go on with this new trilogy.
I think what he did is what J.J. Abrams should have done with The Force Awakens, because I think we talked about it last time, or we might have just been talking about it in normal conversation. That you said that The Force Awakens should have been a movie where they took more risks, but J.J. Abrams played it safe.
Yeah. So he played it safe. Either way, it still worked out. They should have done a bit. They should have taken a bit more risks with Force Awakens. But again, you have to remember that Star Wars hasn't been in the public eye as far as cinematic wise for what? When was Revenge of the Sith? Like 10, 15 years?
It's a long time ago. I want to say 20. I want to say more
because I think Phantom Menace came out 99.
Yeah, it was like 99, 2000.
So, yeah, for like almost 20 years, Star Wars wasn't in. A little like 15 years, I would say.
2005. So it's been 12 years.
So yeah, so 12 years that Star Wars hasn't been. So you have maybe in those 12, you have a whole new generation of people that have probably never watched Star Wars. So you have to introduce them to this world in a new light. And you know, I think J.J. Abrams did a good job in doing so. But they should have taken a bit more risk because they played it really slow, and that's what people were like. It's too much like A New Hope.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say too. I see the similarities, but I just don't see as it.
Me either. I do see the similarities in it, but I don't. It's different enough from A New Hope for me to be like it's a different movie.
Yeah. So, complete spoilers, by the way.
Real quick, because Mark Hamill keeps going on about this in interviews when they ask him about like the table reads and stuff like that, and he said when he was reading the script for Force Awakens, he says he thought it should have been Luke who pulled the lightsaber out of the snow and not Rey.
In the Force Awakens.
Yeah, he says that Luke should have showed up for that scene. I would have liked to seen that, but I don't agree that it would have worked for story wise.
No, it wouldn't have, because I feel like Kylo Ren would have sensed Luke's presence much more, and it would have focused on that, and then
because Mark Hamill's whole thing is like, oh, his best friend died and his sister needs him, so he should have been like. I can see the compassion that he thinks Luke would have in that moment, but it works so much more that Luke doesn't know shit. Like, he doesn't know anything.
No, it does, because he's exiled himself.
Yeah, he completely in Last Jedi we learned that he completely physically cuts himself off from the Force. Yeah. So he's not feeling anything. So that so as cool as it would have been to like see him in that scene, and you know, story wise, cool. Yeah.
But no, it makes sense. It makes sense story wise for Rey.
Yeah.
To do it, because it's like she's obviously Force sensitive, so, and her power is increasing dramatically.
Yeah.
Exponentially.
Yeah. And people are like, oh, how does she know how to use the Force? Well, it's because the Force balanced her out. The Force balanced her to be equals with Kylo, and that's how she learned things. So, and I hate when people don't like accept that as an answer. They're like, it doesn't work as a narrative. I'm like, fucking, it's fantasy. Like, just go with it.
Yeah.
But okay.
But yeah, spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, which I definitely recommend you go see before you listen to this.
Yeah.
If you don't care about spoilers, because I know a few people who don't care about Star Wars, then hey, listen on. But yes, spoilers starts now. The beginning of the movie. So the movie takes place pretty much immediately after The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
The rebels are trying to escape, or at least they're flying off, whatever. And their first order is just like right behind them, right after the destruction of Circular Base. In the beginning they take down a dreadnought ship, which was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
It definitely showcases more of Poe's flying abilities, which is awesome.
Yeah. So it's rumored, and Disney hasn't confirmed this. Neither has Marvel Comics. But because Luke fought alongside with Poe's parents after the destruction of the Death Star, the second one. He gave them a Force-sensitive tree, and people are like, "Oh, Poe played on that tree, and now he's got some kind of sense of a Force." Which I don't think it's the case. I think he's just a very skilled pilot.
Yeah, I think it's very possible because, I mean, look how skilled Han Solo was as a pilot.
So,
and he wasn't Force-sensitive.
So, fun thing. Who said, "I have a bad feeling about this"?
I just watched a video about who said it.
Yeah. It's fucking BB-8.
Yeah.
Because I walked out of there, I was like,
nobody said it.
Nobody said it. And then I watched that same video, and I was like, oh, he does. Remembering back, I'm like, he does.
Yeah, he says it. It brings on the tradition. In case if you don't know, every single Star Wars movie out there, including Rogue One, the spin-off movie, someone has to speak the line, "I have a bad feeling about this."
Yeah. And so in Rogue One they say it, even though K2 gets cut off, but it's still said.
It's still said, yeah.
So I thought when I learned that BB-8 says it, it made me happy because it was just it was a fun and smart thing to do because technically you still have that line in there, but it's more of an Easter egg.
It's definitely more than Easter egg.
Yeah,
it's for the true hardcore fans.
Yeah, and it was just fun learning that. And so now when I do eventually go watch it again, I'm gonna
try to catch it on like where he says it. Yeah.
Because I think it has something. I think it's sometime in the opening scene.
It has to be because that's where because honestly, BB-8's not in it as much. In the movie, than he is in the opening scene. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's got to be sometime during that opening scene. Yeah. But that opening scene is incredible. Mm-hmm. Like just to see like another space battle.
Yeah.
Because we saw the atmosphere battle with the Starkiller base and what do you call it? That one planet that they go to find Maz. I forgot the planet's name. Yeah. But the atmosphere battles are great because you don't really get to see how those ships, those vehicles work in atmosphere and gravity and stuff. And it's awesome. They fly really well, and to see someone handle themselves with that kind of like skill is great. And then to see them in space again with no limits.
Have you played the it's an X-Wing. It's an X-Wing game that Dave & Buster's has. Like, it's a simulator.
I have not.
You sit in it, and it's like it takes you. You can do the trench run. You can like fly in Jakku. Like,
oh my god, yeah, I want to play this.
So I spent a lot of money. Like, I think I spent like $20 on this game alone. Yeah. Like, I just kept like recharging my card.
Of course. Well, I mean, it sounds great. But yes, to see that opening space battle, it's so good.
Children were like opening the door, like, "Can you get out?" I was like, "No, I'm not done yet."
You're children yourself.
It's fun. Yeah, it's a great scene, and then we see Rose's sister sacrifice herself.
Yes,
which I didn't care. I didn't care. I didn't care for Rose. I didn't.
I wouldn't say, like, putting the whole Rose character aside, that scene where she sacrifices herself to destroy the ship, that, I think that shows more, not the character of, like, I mean, obviously it sets up the whole motivation.
Well,
stuff for Rose.
I could see the visual representation of it for like, seeing like, this is what rebels do, this is what they're about,
this is how desperate they are.
Yeah. So in that I appreciate it, but them tying that directly to Rose, it felt like that was just a way to introduce her, and then again, like, I just didn't care for her character.
Right. I don't know, I didn't mind her character that much. I mean,
I didn't like completely hate her or disliked her. I just, like, if she wasn't in the film, I don't know, like, I wouldn't bat an eye.
Right. I feel like I said, I didn't mind her character so much. I just felt like there was at times where she seemed a little annoying. I don't know. And I'll touch on this before I forget, before we get back into the thing. Seeing her character and like the interactions with Finn and stuff, and that scene where they first meet, to me that felt a little too human. And what I mean is, it almost seemed like it was out of place in the Star Wars movie, because it's like, I don't know, maybe it's because like these, maybe it's because I've kind of how do I say this? I've kind of conditioned myself to think that these characters, or these people who they're in a Star Wars universe, they should act like they're in a Star Wars universe. The way she seems kind of fan-struck or starstruck with Finn just seems like, you act like you're it's like you're acting like someone who's just meeting a Hollywood icon or something.
That's true, because I mean,
like I said, it's fine because we don't exactly know how these people are interacting with one another. I mean, obviously these are people, but I don't know, I just felt like this seems like I'm watching something like almost, it's like, are you from Earth?
Because I think the reason why I liked her and Finn's interactions that they had in their scenes was more so because I like Finn as a character, not because I liked Rose. Right. Yeah, and like I like Finn as a character. He was when in the Force Awakens, he was like, he was one of my favorite things about it. It's just I liked his arc overall, like, you know, stormtrooper turned rebel, like it was just, it was just great. And in this, I was happy to see his you know, his story progress and stuff like that. But then he just kind of gets tied with Rose for the sake of like being like introducing Rose or having her in there, because is she going to be in the next one?
Most likely.
And is she now like promoted because she like you know, I don't know. Her character just felt very out of place.
Right. But I mean, yeah.
So the entire time he's like, I gotta find Rey, and she's like, well, we can just kiss.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you see what I mean? Like with that whole first meeting of them, it seemed like, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one, but to me, it kind of took me out of watching Star Wars because it just seemed too real. She seemed like a secondary character that shouldn't have had a large role as she did. Yeah, but
maybe. Yeah, and then after that, what do we see? Snoke, his death.
Right, but first, we should go back to the whole scene with Leia in the opening when what is it? Yeah, when Kylo Ren's flying his ship.
Oh, and he's about to yeah. So she's got force powers, and it's not out of like nowhere either. You would kind of assume
it kind of feels like it came out of left field, just out of nowhere, but at the same time, we don't know how strong she is with the Force.
I mean, Yoda himself was like, I'd rather have trained her than Luke.
Exactly.
So,
and it did look a little silly, you know, seeing her fly back into the ship. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, holy shit, she is a badass.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
And she, I mean, it's not even like she's got like strong force powers either. Like she's just in the like vacuum of space, so she's floating anyway. Like like the tiniest thing could have nudged her forward.
True.
And so she just you know.
But I still feel like for her to use those powers to keep herself from freezing, no less.
Yeah.
And then to pull herself back into the ship like that, that's got to take some strength.
Well, I think it just comes with like the natural strength that she's already born with.
Right.
Because I mean, you know, Luke says it like, oh, the Force is strong with, you know, in my family,
right,
and all that. So, I don't consider it like completely out of the realm of possibility for her to.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
I don't expect her to start wielding a lightsaber in the next one or start force pushing people away.
Yeah. I don't really expect that either. But just seeing what she did, that was like, wow, that came out of nowhere. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, she does have these powers, and I don't know, I liked it. Some people have said that it's like, what the hell is? They've been referring it to as a Mary Poppins moment. I don't know.
No, it's far from that, and it's just you gotta like she must, you know, at some point she must realize that she can like, because like the youngest you know, youngling can like do the simplest things. She just moved herself.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it's not.
I think people are just criticizing about how silly it looked.
Oh.
Just seeing a CGI Leia.
Because when I saw that she got blown, I was upset. I was like, this is not how they're fucking killing Leia. Like they're not doing. I was really upset. And then, you know, she used the Force to fly back to the ship, and I was happy, and I was just happy that she was able to use the Force in that way.
Oh yeah.
Other than, you know, having it as a sixth sense. So.
Oh yeah, definitely, and yeah, it was definitely good.
Mm-hmm.
The whole interactions with Rey and Luke, like when she gives him the lightsaber, and he just tosses it.
I expected it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
I expected it because he, you know, he's been through the ringer. Like he wants nothing to do with anything. Also, he calls it laser sword, which I liked.
Yeah, because honestly, it does kind of hard, not just to the prequels when Anakin says, "Oh, laser sword." it kind of harkens back to when A New Hope was still new. You know, it was like they didn't establish a universe yet, so obviously like
Obi-Wan calls it a laser sword, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, so I don't know. If that's what I'm saying, it felt like old Luke Skywalker. It felt like it felt like him. Like he's back. You know, he's just more crotchety now.
Yeah. He physically he reminded me of Sir Alec Guinness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
And I think that was made on purpose.
I think so. Yeah. That makes sense to kind of mirror him now being like the mentor, the master, and everything. Yeah, that makes sense. What's coming up there? But yeah, like they're meeting together. Him not knowing what happened to Han. And it's funny because like they like Finn and Rose, like they go off on their own separate adventure to find someone to break into or to slice into the lead ship so then the rebels can get away.
Also, Benicio del Toro, not Ezra Miller. I mean, not Ezra Miller. Ezra Bridger.
Oh,
from
Rebels.
Rebels, yeah, because there was a rumor that he was Ezra grown up, and I was like, Ezra would have to be older, like,
right?
Much older,
right.
He'd have to be older than Luke because he was like in his mid-teens when Luke was a child.
That makes sense.
So
yeah. What was I gonna say? But yeah, these characters, they had their own separate adventures. You know, Rey's doing her training and stuff like that, and then all the while, the rebels are on the run from the First Order, and they're getting shot down. That's what I loved that part. Like the whole sense of like, while Rey's doing this while training with Luke, they're running. You know, they're trying their damnedest just to get away, and like they're running out of fuel. It's like that level of suspense that's played out through the entire movie, and then it all just culminates to the very end. It's suspenseful. It's like, oh my god, are they gonna get away?
It's Star Wars, of course. But during all that, first of all, the fight scene with Kylo and Rey and the guards,
that was amazing.
I loved it. I was actually convinced that Kylo would go back to the light.
That's what I thought too. Especially
and then when he's like nah, he's like
So what happens in that scene is Rey is taken aboard.
First of all, are you satisfied with how they went with Snoke?
I was surprised
because I am. I'm happy that he had such a short screen time. That they didn't showcase how powerful he was, because it mirrored a lot what they did with Palpatine.
Right.
Because we didn't. If you look back in the original trilogy, he doesn't really do much. He's not really there.
True.
All we know about Snoke is that he was powerful enough to kind of link Rey and Kylo together and manipulate Rey's thoughts.
Another great force power that was introduced in this movie, and I thought that was really great because it makes sense. Because if two characters who are who have the force or who are force sensitive, and they can feel each other, like at the end of Empire, when Luke reaches out to Leia and they grab her, when it can Return of the Jedi, when he senses that Vader's on the ship when they're flying into the planet, they can sense each other. So why not be able to have them have like conversations and stuff through the Force? Yeah, I think that was great. It definitely added another level to, it's like, geez, and how far does this go?
And that was all Snoke's doing too, and he was manipulating Rey's visions of Kylo and stuff like that, to persuade her to to come on board, and all that. I won.
There's a siren in the back.
Someone died. So and then he obviously has Force lightning because he shoots Kylo, right?
Yeah. It's like real quick, and it's cool because I actually like that. He doesn't like full on like blast him with energy. It's just like a quick, and it's like heal.
So we see Kylo force choke
Oh, Hux.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just like his grandfather. He just.
Yeah, no, that was good. But yeah, that scene. So yeah, Rey gets taken aboard.
Mm-hmm.
They meet up with Snoke, and he takes the lightsaber from her. It's a scene that mirrors Return of the Jedi very 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 closely.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's not like everything he was saying to Rey by saying like, oh yes, I was the one to do this. I thought my apprentice could do whatever. I was wrong or whatever. And it's like, oh, Kylo looked like he was about to have a change of heart, And then when he uses the Force to switch the lightsaber on and cut him in half, it's like, oh, he's done it. He's come to the light. Which I thought would have been really cool, because then in the next movie they could have done something where Kylo Ren joins the Resistance somehow. But then.
Who would be in charge after that? Hux?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's right under Kylo, right?
Yeah.
As far as rank.
But it was still cool. It was cool to see them both fight together.
Yeah.
And to fight the guards, and they had those different weapons and stuff.
One thing I wish about that scene, I wish it was more of like a one shot. I wish it didn't like break off and then like we'd see like
more action. Yeah.
So I wish this scene would have stayed consistent and kept going, rather than it like cutting off and then we see Rose and Finn or whatever the scene was.
Yeah,
That sandwiched in between.
That was also kind of reminiscent of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
We had 3 battles going on. They just keep intercutting with each other, which was cool. But to see like the weapons that they were the guards were using, like that whip weapon was obvious. It's an obvious nod to the light whip, which is. It's not canon anymore, but it's basically a lightsaber whip, which is really cool. And obviously they took some inspiration from that. Like the other different weapons they used, which is really cool. And yeah, like I said, seeing them fight with each other, it was definitely a good dynamic for the both of them, and it shows that they care about each other. Like they know nothing about each other, and yet they care about each other. At least that's how I'm taking it as.
I don't think it's care. I think it's just more maybe respect for one another. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
But I mean, there's definitely some type of form of care in there, because I don't.
Yeah, because he could have killed her.
Yeah. He
could have definitely killed her and ended the Jedi, just like that they were trying to do.
I think Kylo's holding out hope in turning Rey.
You think so?
I think that's what it is. I think he's trying to be as patient as he can, but Rey's already made her decision. She's not
right. My question is after everything happened, after the fight, Snoke's death and everything, I would think that he would, turn good, but he's still holding on to that, I want to be part of the dark side.
Yeah.
But why? I don't think this movie doesn't exactly explain why he's chosen the dark side.
That's true. Because I mean, even in the book, it doesn't really. He finds out who Vader was. He gets upset because his parents lied to him and they weren't showing him, attention as much as they should have, and all that. But it's not. It's not coherent as to why now he's still holding on to the dark.
Yeah. So maybe that's something we'll get in the next movie.
Maybe.
Because it'd definitely be interesting to know why he's still trying so hard to be the next Darth Vader. Like, why is he? Why? And is it, now that his master's basically dead, he has no reason to hold on to the dark.
Yeah.
Which, going back to his death, I was not expecting. It's like, holy shit! I thought he was going to be in for at least another movie, but I don't know.
It kind of made sense story-wise, and it made sense for Kylo's character to do that.
No, yeah, I agree, but it was still just like, wait, what? Yeah. They killed him already? We barely just got this is like the most we've seen him in the movie, in any of the movies, because it's the second time he's been introduced, and already they kill him. It's like, what?
Well, speaking of disappointing murders, Phasma is still underused.
I don't think she's dead.
She has to be.
I don't think so.
She has to be. If she's not, then I don't know. Explain it somehow, because she has to be dead. First of all, very underused. Yeah, she kicks Finn's ass, but only because he got a cheap shot in. She's dead. They should have done more with her. It's so disappointing when I think back to it. She has a total screen time of maybe 5 minutes.
But she was good when she was on it.
Yeah, and I wanted more. But her book, her own book, she's such a badass in it, and then see her on screen and not have any of that.
Right.
It's disappointing, especially after we were kind of promised of more Phasma in this one. Which,
well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like she's not dead somehow.
I think she is, but
I mean, yeah, she falls into the fiery pit of the exploding ship, but I don't know. I don't think she's dead.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're right, and hopefully she gets a much better.
Right.
Suit.
But that little scene where she fights Finn, that's... Yeah, we don't see...
My favorite thing was when she's like, "You're scum." He's like, "Rebel scum."
Oh, God. Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. It felt like one of those cheesy moments. I was like, oh, God. But it was still pretty cool. But hearing how those two react to each other, how they interact with each other during that fight, obviously there's a lot of what would I say? I guess history.
Yeah. The whole thing that Phasma has against him is that on Finn's first mission, which wasn't the opening scene of Force Awakens.
Yeah.
That wasn't his first mission. In her book, he goes on his first mission and he's very reluctant to shoot, and so she just wipes it off, and she's like, well, maybe he'll be more compliant
in the next one,
and that's when Force Awakens starts. And so he's already had 2 or 3 offenses that she's noticed, including him taking off his helmet. And so in Force Awakens, where they're like, oh, has he done it? And she's like, no, this is his first offense. She didn't report the other 2.
Right.
So if she would have done so, it would have made her look bad.
Right.
So the whole thing is just Finn just kind of really screwed her career over.
Right.
And her position of power. So that's what she has against him.
But it still felt like there was a lot of history between the two. And it was cool to see them both fight. Yeah. I really liked that. Mm-hmm. But hopefully we'll see more if she's not dead, which I'm gonna hold on to.
I hope I'm pretty sure she is, but I hope you're right, and I hope that she's not dead.
Let's talk about that scene where they go to that planet Canto Bight, where they need to find the code breaker. Like I said, that entire scene felt like something that was taken from the prequels.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't mind it.
It felt like just a big waste of time.
It did. There was a lot of times where I was like, okay, can we get back to the action here? I want to see what's going on with Rey and Kylo and Luke. I want to see more of the escape from the rebels.
I feel other than it being a PSA for don't hurt animals.
Star Wars PSA.
I feel like maybe it was just a forced. It was a forced attempt at having that kid show up,
so they can show him in the end.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's not the whole reason. Obviously, they need to find the Master Code Breaker and all that, but I don't know. They could have cut that whole section out and just not do it.
Well, I think they maybe not cut the whole thing out, but at least shorten it. Because if it did feel like it kind of went on for a while.
No.
Yeah, because seeing those all the different aliens and stuff together, and the racing and stuff, and it like I said, it was cool because it opens up the universe to where it's like, oh, it's not just space battles and stuff. It's like these people are actually having lives.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool to know that these people they're the ones that are selling, weapons and stuff to both the Resistance and the First Order. So it was kind of like one of those.
That was a cool detail.
I did like that too, because it kind of made it like, oh, that there's the more like financial support for this war and stuff. So it's like you've got one dealer selling weapons to both sides, and then with the code breaker, what do you call it? Double crossing them.
Yeah.
And it's all for money. It's like it was cool. I did enjoy the fact that they were showing the lives outside of like the battles and stuff, and it's like, yeah, these people are just living normal lives.
I still think they should have shortened it.
Yeah, they
maybe not cut it out completely, because obviously you need a couple of those for the plot to work, but it should have shortened out a bit.
Yeah, it definitely should have been shorter. It wasn't revealed that he was the master code breaker. He was just a code breaker.
Yeah, he was just he was just a slicer.
Right.
So, yeah, because he hijacked that ship too, and I think he hacked it somehow.
Yeah.
So that was the only way he got to it. But aside from that, maybe. You think it would have been better if like they're like, oh, go find the master code breaker, and it turned out to be Lando?
That would have been really cool. I would have loved to have seen that.
I don't know. I feel like DJ could have been Lando.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I see Lando being in that world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but I don't think he would be like someone who's captured. Or like some sort of homeless bum.
Well, that's true. But I don't know. Maybe they could have found him in. But then, too many questions that are starting to arise now. Now that I'm thinking about it, because like, how would Finn and Rose know to find him? How would they even? Never mind.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that whole scene it dragged on a little bit too long. It was. It did kind of set the groundwork to start, with the kid and the ring at the end.
So I don't think that kid's gonna be part of the new trilogy. I think it's just more of like a metaphor of like saying like the Force still goes on.
Yeah, and it's definitely gonna be like, what do you call it? I don't think that kid's gonna be a major character.
He might not even be a character at all.
Yeah, I think it's just showing that like, well. It started, the real thing has started. So now, going back to Poe's character, he was definitely a badass.
Yeah.
He's trying to do everything he can to save everybody, but what was her name? Holdo?
I think so.
The Admiral? The new one? Yeah. At first, it's like, damn, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
I didn't like her. And then at the end, when she actually had...
I thought she was going to be a traitor.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
I thought she was just... Actually, I thought she was not going to be a traitor, but I thought she was going to just... It's like, you know what? I'm just going to pretend like everything is okay, even though we're basically going to our deaths. But she knew that...
Did you like her sacrifice?
Yes. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Seeing...
I was upset because the theater like erupted in like cheers, and I was like it would have been nice just to hear it silent.
Yeah, no, because the entire scene was silent.
Yeah,
to see that the devastation that one ship can cause to a massive ship like that by jumping into light speed, pretty much at point blank range.
Yeah,
that was incredible.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense because it was a big thing, but. Oh my god, that was incredible. That was a great visual.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a great because I think it literally shows just how fast these ships are moving at such a great speed, and it's crazy to think that one little ship moving at that speed can create that much of amount of damage to something that big.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I loved that scene.
It, like, again, I wish I watched it with no like Harrison. That someone needs to take Harrison Ford's
pilot's license away.
Just take it away, man. I don't need that man dying in real life. Okay, so the end.
Yes, like the final battle.
Yeah,
that was.
First of all, Luke is powerful as shit.
Yes.
To astral project himself across the galaxy. First of all, what I wanted from this film was to have Luke just mow down stormtroopers, Knights of Ren, someone.
That would have been so cool.
What we got was.
That's true. We have not seen the Knights of Ren yet.
Yeah.
Huh.
They haven't been shown yet, so.
Maybe the next one.
But what we got from Luke, I think, is either just as good or might be even just a little bit better than seeing him just mow down.
Of course. And then, before we forget, because I know someone out there, whether they're listening or not, I was probably going to mention Yoda.
Oh yeah,
his little cameo.
It was a pleasant surprise.
I know that was a really pleasant surprise.
So there was a lot of rumors that Hayden Christensen was on set, and that like they were gonna have Ewan McGregor come as Obi-Wan.
That would be cool.
And all this, and I was expecting a half Vader, half Anakin, Force Ghost, and instead we got Muppet Yoda, which I liked. I liked a lot. I was very.
At first, I thought he was CG. The fucker was a puppet.
Yeah,
just like the original, which that was cool. And that also showcased just how strong he is too. By he calls down the lightning to strike the tree. It's like, what the hell?
I like seeing the little cameo and him being like. I also like that Luke wasn't surprised to see him. He's like it's clearly been a while, and he's like Master Yoda. But it's not like, oh, I haven't spoken to you in years. Like,
yeah, and then when he's all like, it's like, oh, but the Jedi texts because the tree's burning down.
And he's like, they're long.
They're long.
Yeah.
Well, have you read them? And he's like, and Luke's just like, well, I mean, like that was like that felt like Return of the Jedi, like Empire Strikes Back, Luke and Yoda. That's like the chemistry hasn't changed a bit.
I will say, Yoda sounded not so Yoda-y.
It might be Frank Oz just getting older.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, but it still felt...
Yeah.
Like, at first, I kind of like, oh, this doesn't sound like Yoda. And then hearing him more, it's like, okay, I got past it, and I was fully immersed into the character. Yeah. And especially, like, he's, like, doing that thing with his legs, and he's, like, giggling. He's like, ha, 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 missed you, I have. It's like, oh, Jesus. Yeah. Please, forever, I want this.
That him, Luke mirroring Obi-Wan with, by saying, I failed you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
To Kylo, which I thought was nice. I was questioning the lightsaber the entire time because Kylo and
they tore it apart.
Yeah,
I don't know why I didn't question that either because like I saw that and I'm like, didn't they? Never mind. And I just kept watching, and then I noticed I'm like, well, how does he look younger?
So when the walkers shot him, and he comes out and just brushes his shoulder, I was like, me and my brother just like looked at each other, like screamed, and we were like, ah!
I know. When I saw it in the theater, they just erupted in laughter because it's just like that is a Luke Skywalker moment. That is his personality, and it's just like, that's too cool.
And then I was expecting him to just take out Kylo, and then when it reveals that he was just a projection,
a force projection, yeah.
For a second, I was disappointed. Because I was like, I wanted to see Luke just do something.
Right.
And then I see him exhausted. And it took everything that he had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And just to make that that big of a difference for for the Resistance, and and then he passes.
Yeah,
and then after seeing that, I was like, shit, like that was, I like, as soon as he passed, like I wasn't disappointed anymore. I was sad, but I was happy to have seen how powerful Luke actually was.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And that twin sunset.
Mm-hmm.
That's just.
Yeah.
That was great.
And I asked my brother, I was like, do you think he'll come back as a Force ghost? And
oh, definitely.
I'm pretty sure.
Obviously.
I'm pretty sure he'll come back, and maybe he'll train Rey that way.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm pretty sure he is slated to appear in the next one, so his story's not over yet.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
So I think we just have 2 more things to talk about, unless you have another topic, or I mean another thing to bring up from the movie. But one is the lightsaber. Do you think Rey's gonna do double blade?
Like Darth Maul?
Yeah. Because her staff can't be her staff forever. I mean,
right.
It can, but
she might. That'd be kind of cool to see that.
She does have 2 crystals. Because I think Luke left his lightsaber in the Falcon. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know.
Because we don't see it other than that flashback.
Right.
And she has the crystal from Anakin's.
Right. Yeah, because she has both pieces.
Yeah. So, but because I know that one crystal can't project 2. Like I think you need 2 crystals. 2 or 3. Because I know Maul. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Maul has 2.
He
crystals.
does have 2 crystals.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring up because I know that like with double sabers like that, you have to have a longer handle.
Yeah.
But there have been some instances where the handle was shorter. Again, this is Legends. This isn't canon anymore. Yeah. But Exar Kun was a Dark Jedi from way back then.
Yeah.
He had a double bladed lightsaber, but it was his single bladed lightsaber just turned into a double. So it was the same length as a single hilt, but both ends came out, and he fought like that. So maybe he had 2 of them in there. I don't know. I might have to read up on it again.
I know a lot of people want that double-bladed lightsaber for her to have, but I
can see it.
I feel like Disney would just give her the single. Like
probably
she build her own hilt and then go from there. But her parents being
right, that was something we got to touch on. Her parents.
Do you think Kylo was lying?
Yes.
I think he was, just to try to persuade her, but it also seems like she knew.
Maybe.
Either she knew or she's become convinced that that's the case.
Maybe.
That there's
because
scum.
I was reading an article, or like they were talking about how like Daisy Ridley herself was happy with the reveal of her parents. Yeah. And I'm like, you're happy about that?
Yeah.
Just 2 junkyard people sold her off for
booze and
for booze and whatever. I don't know. I want to say he was lying, but at the same time, if that was really the case, then she really is just a nobody. I think we talked about it again. Did we talk about this in the first episode? I don't know, but it might be just a normal conversation. Because I know you didn't want her to be Kenobi.
No, I said if anything, I didn't want her to be a Skywalker.
Okay.
I didn't want her to be a Skywalker. If anything, I can see her being a Kenobi, but they would have to explain a lot
why,
in the Kenobi film.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, like he would have had to have her like while he was training Luke, like closer to his death.
Right.
And that just doesn't make sense. Like unless again if Obi-Wan like shagged it up with somebody.
Right. So. Because I think we did talk about this before.
Because as far as I know, from everything that's canon for Obi-Wan, Satine, who was she was Duchess to the Mandalorian world or race, that was his only love interest.
Right.
And Maul killed her. Yeah, he killed her because. That scene is great. He's choking her the entire time, and he's like, just leave her alone and kill me. That's what you want. He goes, oh no, I'm gonna make you suffer like you made me suffer. And he
oh damn.
Yeah, and he chokes her. Oh no, he stabs her. Yeah, He stabs her.
Oh my god.
It's funny. He floats her forward and he just impales her, and then he goes and he sits back on the throne.
But yeah, like with Rey basically just being a nobody, I think that definitely adds more mystery to her character. It's like, well, obviously she's not force sensitive out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So her parents have to be, one of them has to be at least force sensitive. But seeing that she's basically a nobody, that I feel like it makes her character stand out from everyone else. Because she doesn't have any ties to anybody from the original trilogy. She's just a brand new original character, which I like.
Yeah.
I like that she's just a brand new original character, no ties to anybody, and she just basically comes from a shitty background.
Yeah,
I like that.
Me too.
It's it's cool. She's not a clone.
Which story-wise, I would have accepted if they were like, oh, like she's like we actually grew her from Luke's hand.
Oh God.
Like I would have been like, okay, it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit happier that they haven't either if her parents are scum and that's the big reveal, then great. But if not, hopefully we get to learn that there's different Jedi and Force users out there than just the Skywalkers.
Right. Which is cool.
Yeah.
And I definitely like that. It was a pretty good reveal. I think that's all I have. What about you?
There was one more thing. What was it? Let's see. Recap.
I'm not editing any of this out.
So we got Han's death in Force Awakens.
Yes.
We got Luke's death in Last Jedi.
Yes.
Most likely we'll probably get Leia's death.
Yes.
Next.
How they're gonna do that? Since
so John Campea, he's a critic and he does movie reviews and stuff, and he's mostly on YouTube. His vote was to recast Leia. Recast Leia to finish off Carrie's legacy. Don't do her disservice by saying, oh, she, like in an opening crawl, be like, Leia died in a cargo ship or whatever.
Right.
Like, don't disservice her like that. Even if you want to, you can even go as far as like being like, oh, she's out in the Outer Rim recruiting new people.
Honestly, I feel like.
But if you want to like continue on recasting her, someone that looks something similar to Carrie Fisher, I would actually be okay with that.
Maybe.
I mean, it would be hard to watch because that's not Leia to me.
Yeah, honestly, I think if they,
because I would say do something where she's off world. She's off doing something else.
Yeah, like say if the opening crawl for the next one is something where like she's
off
world.
I would be very upset if the opening crawl is like, oh, she's she's dead or whatever. But if the opening crawl is like, oh, she's out in the Outer Rim and she's doing this and she's doing that.
Right. And if they can just, I would like that because if they try to recast, I think the same could be said for a lot of people. It would take them out of the movie. It's like, they've grown up to know that Carrie Fisher is Princess Leia. Yeah. And it would be like, well, this isn't right. It's like, I feel like
that's why I'm split, like more 60-40 with it. Like I would be okay with the recast, but I know like I wouldn't the entire film, like that's not Leia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if the opening crawl just said like she was out in the Outer Rim recruiting or doing whatever she can, or maybe she's in hiding because she's such a big player in the Resistance now, so that'd be fine. I'd be okay with it. I would understand with it. I don't think they necessarily need to kill her.
I would hate it if they did.
Yeah, because then it's like, what, you're just gonna kill off all of the original cast?
Yeah.
No, I feel like what they need that they're gonna do is they're just gonna tell her that she's in hiding.
I say do what Fast and Furious did with Paul Walker's character. They didn't kill him off. They didn't do anything. He's just no longer involved in their
So maybe she's in hiding, or maybe she's part of some sort of protection thing that they got that they can't find her, and well, there you go. So
I'd be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that too.
I did expect to see either a death or a retirement of Leia, but which is why I was so upset at that scene where where she's in space, because I was like, no, they're gonna do Leia like this, like no, and I'm happy that they kept her alive. But that's about it. The very last thing, Poe and Rey meet.
That's true. I did not realize that they did not meet in The Force Awakens.
Well, here's the thing. In the novelization, they actually met. And there's like a small... It's not a very large thing, but they have a brief, like, romantic interest in each other. It's nothing like they're, like, making out.
Right.
It's just, like, it's a bit flirtatious and stuff like that in the book. And... all of a sudden they meet here, so like, are the movies just gonna keep retconning these novelizations? If Disney came out and was like, "Oh, these novelizations are like not like completely
not canon,
like they're not completely canon, they're just more for like aesthetic details and stuff like that," then that'd be fine.
Right, makes sense.
But they're saying, as of right now, every book that's been coming out is completely canon. So Phasma, Thrawn, all those, they're all canon. And then you have, The Force Awakens and Rogue One, and if Rogue One were to come out and something were to be different about it, like you'd still have questions. So
of course,
they meet for the first time, and apparently in the book they had met way before that. So I think Disney just needs to clear that up.
Maybe, or maybe just no one's just not going to care enough.
That's true. I mean, because not a lot of people are out there reading
Not a lot of people are out there reading. Period.
The novelizations. I read.
You and how many?
Listen, the last thing I bought was a cookbook. I'm not reading. It's a cookbook from a YouTuber, and those recipes are on his channel, so I don't need to read it.
Oh my god!
I'm just a supporter. So yeah, I mean, aside from like the actual the Thrawn and Phasma and the Aftermath books, which I've actually read and they're pretty good. I think like novelizations of the movies need to be clarified as like either canon or not.
Okay.
So
maybe they'll release something pretty soon. They'll say like, oh yeah, this is what we did. So
are you gonna watch it again?
Yes. Most likely. I don't know when.
I'm gonna try, because I mean, in the next like 2 weeks things are gonna get like really busy. But I definitely want to try and watch it again, because there are things I missed. Yeah.
Let's watch it together, and then we can have like a retrospective of it. Not for the podcast or maybe. Yeah. But yeah, we'll do something. We'll watch it again. Make sure we missed. Overall, the movie, like I said, I'm giving the movie a 9 because it was great. The story was great. There's a few things that I had to complain about, but the fact that it was such a new, and I guess new is literally the word that I'm going for, because I
think a lot of people are going with that too.
Yeah, because they showed so much stuff that's like that we've never seen before in a Star Wars movie, like.
And that's what I like about Rian Johnson. I like what he did with this. What I'm concerned now is how is J.J. Abrams going to do Episode 9? He's
going to have a hell of a job on his hands.
See, and I don't doubt his ability to carry that.
Right.
I'm just afraid that he's going to play it safe.
Yeah. Well, maybe because of this, seeing how well it did by taking all these risks, that he's going to be like, okay, I'll take some risks now myself.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. Even if it does play it safe,
it's still gonna be good. Gonna be great. It's fucking
J.J. Abrams, yeah, J.J. Abrams.
So, I'm excited for this. I hope I don't get a fatigue like I am getting with Marvel.
Right. I don't think so. I feel like Marvel or Star Wars transcends any type of thing.
There's only one. We're getting a film a year, right?
I think so. Was it next year's Han Solo?
Yeah, which I think I'm fine with. Yeah. A film a year for like the rest of our lives. I think I'm okay.
I'm cool with that too. Yeah. But yeah, overall, that movie was great. Definitely want to watch it again, just so I can catch everything. Definitely don't want to order a soda so I don't pee, because I had to use the restroom so bad.
That's funny. My brother got up to go to the restroom, and he left during Rose and Finn's like Vegas scene, and he came back, and I'm like, you didn't miss anything.
Right? No, I know. I made the mistake of going when Ray first comes aboard that Snoke's ship.
Oh, I would have held it.
I was trying to.
I
I just couldn't. I couldn't. But yeah, I'm gonna watch it again, so I'm not too upset about it. Yeah, great movie. They did a really good job with it. Definitely want to look forward to episode 9. Yeah. So next week is Christmas.
Christmas movies.
You still want to do a podcast?
I mean, we can, or we could just take the day off.
Let's take the day off.
Let's take
Yeah, let's take the day off. Well, we'll reconvene the next Wednesday or next Monday. That we can enjoy the family, enjoy the holidays with your family.
Ugh.
Or not.
Kyle, I've never had a Christmas.
Oh God.
I'm just kidding.
First it's Halloween, now it's Christmas.
No. Christmas has always been the only consistent.
Next year you're gonna be like, what is a birthday party?
What is a birthday party?
No.
Let's not get into this.
But yes, next week is Christmas. We here are gonna just wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that good stuff.
Happy Hanukkah. Some of you will get offended.
Yeah, you know what? I don't care. If you guys don't like that I'm saying Merry Christmas, that's just too bad.
Nah. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, if it's still a thing.
Yeah, just whatever you celebrate, go out and celebrate it and have a good time. That's it for today.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at DCFanboy91.
And I'm at AlexDR with a 0.
Yes, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Worst Company to Have podcast. You might have to scroll down a bit to find us, or you can just send the link directly to the people. Hopefully that'll change very soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and then...
Yeah, leave comments. Let
us know.
Questions. We'd like to have a Q&A session.
We want to know that you guys are actually listening out there. So yes, send us some comments. Let us know what we did wrong. And if there's anything that we missed, let us know.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And we'll see you guys in a few weeks.
Bye.